It's a snowy day today, and I'm just like, okay, let me do another Makeup Monday, but share with you, and is off topic, I went thrifting. I picked up some wrinkle-free button downs. Let me share them with you, okay? First, we got this white one, extra large. You cannot go wrong by not getting a white button down. This says it's from Soul of London. Found that. Just want to share. And these are wrinkle free. Look at the colors. Look at that. I have a burgundy one. I was like, love it. So it says wrinkle free, modern fit. So I got these two that I can wear with my jeans or my black baggy slouchy pants. I couldn't let them go. I couldn't. So I had hand washed them and hung them to dry while they're on the door. But as I was passing by and I was dampening my sponges for today's Makeup Monday, I was like, let me share with you what I recently got. And I tend to hand wash most of my thrifted stuff, so that I'm looking at myself. I should be looking at you. My apologies. I hand wash most of them. As soon as I get them, I hand wash them so that they can air dry or dry clean or machine wash. So I wanted to share that with you. Let's get this started. All right, I need to wipe my face. I took off my lashes last night. I had them on for a good couple days, but I wanted to soak my face in some vitamin C. And so I took my lashes off before I went to bed, but didn't quite rub off everything. But there is a remover that comes with the system I did not get, but I used my other remover, which came with this one right here. This one says Bond and Remover. I got this from Amazon. So I used the remover. All right, so let's get started. I'm gonna put on my moisturizer and all that stuff before I come back. I do my brows as well. Okay, so when I come back, you'll see the brows and we're ready to put on the makeup. I thought I was recording this whole entire time. Let me rewind. Okay. After we did the brows, I went in with this MAC Soft or Orchard Pro Longwear Paint Pod. I recommended that you put it at the back of your hand with a brush. I use this from Real Techniques because when it's on the back of the hand, it warms up. You use the brush and pat it on and you place it because it locks in within seconds, not minutes, seconds. You want to make sure it's all over the eyelid. It is somewhat opaque, so it's going to wash away your natural eyelid color, which is good because we're creating a new color. Even though we're going in with darks, we want that color to be true to its color, right? So we did that. And then what I did was go in with a fluffy brush and created a crease because my eyelids are hooded. I'm not sure if yours are. Maybe that's why you're watching. Get a fluffy blush, not synthetic, a fluffy hairbrush. And I patted in a color that was probably 2 shades darker than me. I added a little bit of this to create depth in that area. Okay, so I did it right below my brow bone, right at the point because I want to elongate my nose. And I created a crease between my brows and my eyelids because I have hooded eyelids. I'm sure you do too while you're watching. So that's what I did for both eyes to give a stop, a point where I'm going to be stopping as we're doing the darker shade. So I went in with this one right here, the darkest one, and I used a dense hair brush. It's sort of flat, so it's good for placement, right? So I grabbed a whole bunch on the brush, concentrated it on the brush on one side, not both, one side. And I'm pressing it right where my lash line starts and I'm going all the way up. Now I'm lifting up my chin and opening my eyes open and I'm looking down a little bit so I can see what I'm doing because my mirror is right here, okay? And I'm making sure I'm pressing it right on the lash line itself and I'm gradually going up. Now, the skin on my eyelid is flat. It's not wrinkled up like this because I won't be able to get in there. That's why I am lifting up my chin and having my eye open like this, not closed like this where it's wrinkled. Open, lifting up my eyebrow and placing the product right in the middle of the mobile part of my eyelid, and I'm gradually going up and I'm continuously packing the product the eyeshadow on the brush itself so that it's really intense. I'm not swooping and blending, I'm pressing and packing it and placing it where it needs to be. And I'm creating that smoky effect that way. And as there's less on the brush, I'm patting it on the outskirts of where I'm ending it. So it gives it a nice softer look. I'm not packing anymore. Where you want to pack it is mainly right around here, but as you're ending the darker shade, you're patting whatever residue is on the brush and creating a nice soft shape, hitting the area that we did the crease. Darker color that we used, that is darker than us creating a crease. So we're stopping right where we have the crease so we can blend there. Okay, I hope that makes sense. I'm gonna go the other. Again, your eye is slightly open. Eyebrow is lifted up so that the skin is smooth. And then when you're placing it, you're getting it in every area. You're not gonna have any lines that you missed. And you've got a point of reference, which you're looking at the other eye to make sure that you're not going too high, too low, and you want to make sure that you're going back into the product and packing it on to make sure that you have the intensity, the same intensity of the darkness of the eyeshadow in the place that it needs to be as you're adding the eyeshadow. Again, as you're ending it, you want to make sure that you're using the product that's on the brush, the leftover product. You're not going in and grabbing some more from the palette. You're using what's on the brush and you're creating a soft shape by patting it lightly with the leftover eyeshadow that's on the brush that you can blend in with the crease. See how there's hardly any product on it? I'm just patting. Yeah. So just a little bit on the crease that we created before we added the darker shade. You can use any darker shade. You can use dark purple. You can even use black or gray, but it should be dark. The other colors that you're going to be using should be in the same family. If it's all cool, let it be cool. If it's all warm, let it be warm. Your crease itself should be somewhat, it can be darker, it could be cool or whatever, but I like to do it in the same family of colors that I'm in the direction in which I want it to flow. I don't want it to be a little bit too high, but I also still have the color that I use for the crease, and it's just fusing it together within that area. Now we don't want it to be muddy, so again, if you're using a warm and cool color together and you're blending it, you're gonna see how muddy it gets. That's why I'd rather use shades that complement my complexion, and then with the smokiness when I'm blending it out, it doesn't look muddy. And there's colors that you could use that can make it look really muddy, and we don't want that. Now, there's a reason why I didn't put on my foundation. Is because the eyeshadow spills, especially if you have your concealer on, you're gonna have to do it all over again. So when you do an intense makeup, eyeshadow makeup, it's gonna spill, it's gonna spackle. Some people do it and they're perfect. Like I can do it on clients, but for myself, and I know it's gonna spill all over because I'm having fun, I don't put on my foundation nor my concealer ahead of time. We need to put something on our lips because normally I put on a plumper. I use the plumper from the plumping gloss from Sephora. This one's more of a nudie shape, but I always put something on this before I put on my makeup because then it gives it some time to plump up and be moisturized. Especially when I sleep, I do that. Okay, so we're gonna go back in with the same brush, the same dark shade, and we're gonna concentrate on the corners now. Since we got it blended in, we know where we want it placed. We like it. Some people like it an oval shape above their eye. Some people like it out, with a wing-like shape. Some people like it closer to their inner eye area. I'm just gonna pack in a little bit more color and sort of keep it round. I just want it to be like this, a flush of color like this and washed out with the contour shade. So I'm just gonna concentrate the corners and pat it in a circular form, just like that. And actually, I don't know if I want to put it there. I want to put a lighter shade there. Yeah, let me just keep it like that. I want to put a different color on the inner part. So I'm packing on. And it's good that you press it. Just clean it up a little bit. Press it and create. Okay, it makes it easier. Press it. And even if you make a mistake, your eyes need to stay open though. Even if you make a mistake, you can always wipe the corners with some baby wipes or Marcel water with a Q-tip. Because you got to leave room for error. No one's perfect. We're still going to make mistakes. It doesn't matter how many years you've been doing it. Right? We're going to go back in with the fluffy brush in the contour shade. And we're just going to blend it softly, the outer ends. Just softly, keeping it in its shape. I'm using a washing method. And if I need to blend, I do it in a circular formation. And just bring it up because I like how round it looks. I don't want a wing. I just want it to be smoothed out in a round shape. The smoky eye is like this. I want it to blend in with the application of the eyeshadow on the bottom lash line. Okay. And we're going to probably go in with this peachy, this one right here. And we're going to put color on the inner eye. I have a feeling I know which one I'm going to do. It's probably this one right here. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so we're going to put, actually, a fluffy brush. I'm going to rub it in that shade right there. And I love Juvia's Places eyeshadows because it's like butter. It reminds me of Morphe. Smooth like butter. So we're just going to pat it underneath the brow bone just to give it more of an impact. Light, see that? Oh, that looks so nice. We want it to be lighter on the brow bone because we want it to stand out. So it's good that we're sticking with this shade right here. It goes similar with the crease shade. Then we're going to go in with these two shades right here on the inner eye. So we're going to use a smaller brush. This is a hair brush. This is not synthetic. We want it to move. The bristles are going to move. More synthetic brushes don't really move that much. We're going to go in with a lighter shade right here. A lot. And we're going to lift up. This is me. I got hooded eyes. I'm not shook. I'm good. I work with it. I'm grateful. Thank you, Lord. We're working with it. We're going to create. Okay. I lift up my eyebrows. I look down. Smooth space. No lines. See the line there? No lines. Boom. Right? Pack it in the corner. We want to leave room for our makeup and our foundation and stuff, so I'm just softening it. I made sure it was more concentrated on where I wanted it, right? And then I fuse it out by patting it around in a circular motion in the place that I want it to be. Okay, so we're going to do the other one, same brush, pack on the product. All right, pat it where we need it. Okay, pat it where we need it. I'm going to put a little bit more because I like this. This looks nice. There we go, in a circular. See how I'm doing it in a circular? Oh gosh, you didn't see that, did you? Let's try this eye. So up, pat it where you need it, right? And then in a circular, because you just want to fuse it out of it in that area. Got it? Okay. We're going to be putting this one on after we do the foundation, after we do all that other stuff, after we put on eyeshadow on the bottom lash line, the lashes and stuff, because it is quite intense of a color. Let's focus on, I got to put my hair away because don't let my hair distract you, okay? We're here for makeup. We're not here for my hair. That's a different day, okay? All right. It's out of the way. My voice sounds so raspy still, eh? Oh, okay. So now, listen, I've been to Sephora and I'm trying out so many different lines of foundation. The one I really love is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Serum Skin Tint. I'm like, I got the sample. I'm ready to purchase it. I tried it the other day. I had it on for like how many hours? In love. Okay, in love. But this is a time for me to try different. And if you're following along, you know that I've been doing it. I'm trying other foundations that give me a nice mature glow. I don't want a matte, even in summer, I don't want nothing matte. I want it to look like it's my skin. Do you know what I'm saying? Even if certain things burst through, I'm okay with it because I'm cleansing my skin, I'm taking care of my skin, I'm exfoliating, all that stuff, all that good stuff. And I want a foundation that's not going to mask my skin, my true skin. When I go out, that's different. You know what I'm saying? So anyhow, I found at Sephora, I have the Makeup by Mario foundation. Haven't tried that yet, so we might do that today. I have the Fenty Ease Drops, so I have it in 14 and 13. Again, I said I had the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Serum, so I got samples here. I also have Armani and the 8.1 medium tan. So today we're gonna, oh, found another one. That one's not labeled. No, I think this is Fenty. Yeah, this is Fenty. We're gonna try the Makeup by Mario. I'm not sure if it's gonna be the right shade. So I got 3 different shades here of different products, okay? Different foundation lines. It says it's A. So we're gonna go with A. I'm gonna put on a little bit of concealer first. I'm gonna do a color correct, a little bit of a color correct. I got this Hourglass concealer, trying this out, so I just bought this. I'm gonna put it directly on my eye. I love the fact that it's somewhat peachy, like an almond peachy shade. And then when I go on with the concealer that's for the look, it will be more intense and brighter. So we're gonna put this one on first. We're correcting. So I'm gonna use a brush by Real Techniques. I'm gonna pat that in the area that is needed. And as for the eyeshadow that we did, I noticed I didn't go past the line in which I needed to wipe the excess off. So we're fine with that. I'm glad I put the eyeshadow in the inner eye area before I put on the concealer because it works well. Some people don't want it there until they put on the concealer and pat it. I don't like to move product underneath my eyes after I put it there. So sometimes it requires that. I am not putting it directly under my eye because we're going to be putting eyeshadow there. Again, with concealer, I don't like to move it around a lot after setting it because it will move, and I don't like that. So that corrected it really nicely. It just lifted my underneath my eyes and got rid of that hollow look. Oh, gosh, thank you, concealer. Hides the sleep, hides the But I know I need to drink more water, and I know I need to sleep more. I need my body to rejuvenate. I'm guilty of that. I know. You don't need to put in the comments. I know. I'm fully aware. Thank you. I'm just thankful for concealer and what it does in the time being. So this is the Makeup by Mario foundation. Usually they give you a tad bit, but I'm glad that I have enough to use a couple times. As an artist, you do want to use it a couple times and see what works with it in terms of setting powders, sprays, and all that stuff. Because when it starts moving around, especially as an artist, you're like, what? Let me wipe this off and try again. Like, nah, it's not going to work this time. I'm just going to use a Real Techniques brush. I'm not calling it a foundation brush. I use it for foundation. I did moisturize my skin. I do not use primer all the time. I don't need it. I'm not going to say I don't like it. I like some of them. There's a time for it. It's not an evening look. So I am not using a primer if you're going to ask. Okay, so just to put it out there. Okay, so the consistency is nice. When I use a brush, I like to pat and see. Oh, that was a lot. That was a lot. Okay. It's okay. I like it. I like it. It does feel like there's something on my face. It does. Patting it on and swiping it is okay too, because it's not like it's removing, like it's moving around. You know, when you move foundation or you move powder and stuff like that, it's like you see it moving around. It's still in place in the sense of the coverage. I do like that. Even if I go over, touch it like this, it's not like I'm removing that foundation from its spot. It's still there. We'll see how it lasts. Looks nice so far. Okay, so we're gonna go with concealer. I was gonna use Too Faced Sand, but I'm gonna go in with Tarte. It is a little bit darker than the sand, and I don't want it to be too bright. We are gonna contour, so don't bother looking at the foundation that looks like. I know it's on your mind because we're perfectionists, so we see every little thing. And I know you want to help me out by mentioning it. I know. I know. So I'm telling you ahead of time that I know that it's there. That part. All in love though, all in love. A little bit on the nose bridge, in here, out here. And this is something that I want it to stay. I am not going right by the bottom lash line. I'm not doing that. There's error in that for sure. And a little bit here. I think the shade of the foundation may be a little bit off. I'm not sure because I'm not trying to compare it to NARS or any other shade that I have, but I am noticing that I'm not saying, I do believe they said it was, yeah, 140 olive. We'll see. I'm just seeing something, not saying like, oh, it's different, it's not like this and I don't like it. I'm not doing that. What I'm doing is seeing if it's a match for me. You know what I'm saying? Seeing if it's a match. We're going to use the Real Techniques brush. We're going to pat in the concealer. The chin, I pat it in the shape of a chin and I let it set that way. That helps. Nose, little line there, and then here, just fuse that up or keep it narrow. In between the eyebrows, I don't need that much there because I have a lot of shine right here. So highlighter always opens this area while we put it there in terms of makeup placement. But I want to make sure that it's on the nose bridge itself. There we go. Right? Pat it inner eye area, not on the bottom lash line. We want space there for the eyeshadow. We don't want a whole bunch of concealer and then we put the eyeshadow and we're having issues, you know? So just patting it in that area. I could have used a smaller brush, but this will do. And I didn't want to have that harsh line there, so I'm going to fuse that out a little bit. I don't like when it's like a line. And above the upper part of the cheekbone, that's where it should land because it's lifting, right? Now I'm going to go with a triangular puff like this, and I'm going to fuse it out. There's nothing on here. Just fuse it out. And then we're going to lock it in with powder. But this helps it blend out nicely without it looking so stark and looking like there is something there in a sense of light. This helps blend it all in together. Again, nothing underneath the eye, but we're fusing it out around there, so there might be a little bit, but it's not directed on the bottom lash line. We're just fusing it out. This is the translucent setting powder by One Size. We're going to use the same puff and we're going to pat it in the powder and we're going to knock it in our hand so that we have an even distribution on the puff, so that when we land it on our face and the placement of where the concealer is, it's grabbing enough powder. You can build up on it if you want more to give it a more brighter look and locking in the concealer in that area, but I'm just using that because I'm going to use something else. And you want to make sure you don't have any lines underneath at the bottom lash line. From this point, what I'm going to do is, because I don't want to put a cream contour, we're going to use, actually, you know what? I think I'll use a little bit. Let's not skip that. So the powder, the setting powder locked in the concealer that we just put in. Right now I'm going to use, this is like old school, but you know, affordable concealer that you can get at the hair store. We're going to use a darker shade for the contour. And I'm going to use a smaller brush, but pointed. We're going to go into the darker shade. We're going to place it where we need it lightly. So I'm touching my brows where it starts and going down the side of my nose bridge, stopping at the tip, and I'm drawing in the bottom like that. That's just a preference of mine. And I like this shade because it's soft, and so even if you have too much on your face, it's easy to fuse and blend out. I found that the powder was a little bit too stark, but there's a time for it. And a little bit on the bottom lip past. I never did this before, so I'm sure this is the first time you see me doing it, but I'm gonna try it. Past my lip line. This is to make your lips a little bit bigger, but I already plumped them up. I already got my lips done. Go touch them up again, but right now we're trying this technique. So a little bit there and a little bit past the top lip line. That made it so much fuller. I've never done it myself. I've done it on clients, but I didn't really think I needed to, but it's good to play and see how it looks. I like it. I like how it looks. So even with my nose, I'm gonna use the same, what I did is I just wiped a little bit off the brush itself. I'm just gonna go back in and just fuse that out, soften that line out. That is from my brow, the tip of my brow, along my nose bridge, going down, just fusing it out a bit, patting what is on my nose tip, the tip of my nose, the tip of my nose, fusing that out a little bit, and take the puff itself, touch, pat, just pat, because there's a little bit of powder on there, but this also helps fuse out that line, which the brush does, which I love, and even the color that I used to contour my nose. Amazing. Now I'm going to go in with the Sephora Bronze Medium. This is 35 Bronze Medium Yellow Micro Smooth Powder. Love. It's going to lock everything in, fuse everything, and make everything soft. So I'm just going to use this dome brush that I got from Morphe. Pat everything in. Oh, this looks so nice. Pat it all in. Forehead. And I'm glad I didn't contour the forehead. I might use a little bit of powder, but just like powder contour. But what I'm doing right now is just blending everything together because this is more of my skin color. And the foundation I used, the Makeup by Mariel foundation, I didn't blend it all the way into my hairline. I didn't want to do that. I want to be able to have some of my skin peek through. And so this powder helps fuse the foundation and what I don't have on my forehead together. It works really nicely. Now I'm going to do the bottom lash line, but before I do that, I am not going to contour anything else. I don't think I should. I do have strong features, so I do like that look, but today we're just going to focus on the eyes, so I don't need so much contour going on. Okay, we're going to focus on the eyes and blush, nude lip, okay? And so the bottom lash line, we're going to go back in with the same kit, the same eyeshadow palette. This is the mini. We're going to go in the bottom lash line with this darker color and this color. Actually, I think I'm going to use a little bit at the bottom here as I fuse it out. And we're going to go in with this one on the inner eye area. Okay, so we got that on. The reason why I put the lighter shade in the inner eye area first is because I wanted this to stand out. So it was to at least go on top of it. It was not supposed to remain matte. So that's another reason why I did that. I wanted the inner eye area to be more of a sparkle, more of a gold reflect, and more, you know what I'm saying? That's what I wanted. That's what I needed. Okay, so now we're gonna go in. It's always good to have the brushes that you use with the initial color to go back in and touch what you need to touch up, okay? We're gonna go in with the Sephora Golden Hour as a highlighter. So this is what I have here. I'm not sure if they discontinued it, but I love it. Great highlighter. We're gonna go in with a fluffy brush, just like this, just a fluffy, synthetic fluffy brush. We're gonna use a little of the product, swipe a little on the nose here, on the nose bridge itself, just like that. I think that's about it, just a little on top of the brow here, just creating a nice light reflect. This is some places where you'll get a little bit, the sun will hit you there nicely. I just like to create it with some shimmers, and with the nose I like to do that to bring it forth, just to give it a nice highlight in those areas. I didn't want it to be too bright, just something subtle. Okay, so from this point, I'm gonna put on the lashes and I'll be right back. lashes that I used, I know you're gonna ask. This is the Remy 3D lashes in number 6. It looks like this. Goes well with smoky eyes. You can get this at your local hair store. I think Shoppers Drug Mart might have it, but I know the Eye Envy is mainly at BCI, Colore, or BSW. So you can find those there. That's what I have on right now. The look is very intense, so I'm like, okay, let me put these intense lashes on. I am enhancing my eyebrows with the NYX Lift and Snatch, which I do love. An affordable option would be by Ruby Kisses. It has a single end and it has a fork end. So these ones are great, but this one comes in, yeah, black, brown, stuff like that. This one I'm using in black. Now for the blush, I'm going to go in with something orangey before we do the lips, okay? Because the lips are going to be nude. I'm going to go in with my favorite. I do have some other options here, but probably going to end up with my favorite. Juvia's Place has a palette that I have purchased. I didn't buy all this stuff, but I always buy the minis to see if I like it. I have this one here. This is the Festival. That one broke upon delivery. If you want to send me another one, Juvia's Place, that's great. That's great. I could use a blush from here. I could use the Oro, this one right here, which is nice, really nice. I could also use my favorites from MAC. Trust me, I got tons and tons and tons of palettes, which I definitely need for clients, but I'm not really doing clients that much anymore. If they want their hair and makeup done, I'll bring it. And it just narrows down to one person, but I'm mainly hair right now. So I love this selection I have from MAC, and I might go in with this one's called, I'm not gonna say the word because I'm giving it too much credit. This one I like too. This is Format. Right here, this is Format. I mentioned that one already. This one is, which one's Pinch Me? I think this one's Pinch Me. Either this one's Pinch Me. This one's Spring Sheen. And yeah, thank God this is magnetic, eh? Oh, thank God. This one is, oh, I remember, Pinch Me. That one's Pinch Me. This one's Format. This one is, and we're not using it, I'm just naming it just in case you're curious and you're looking at it and you like it. I just want to be able to let you know what it is. This one's Fever. This one is Fever. And this one I use for contour, just a powder. And this one is called Shadowy. Okay. We're going to go in with, right, this one and this one. Probably these three. But I love this one. Oh, hold on. We're going to do these two. Let's just do these two. Let's keep it so it's and Format. Okay, we're going to do that. We're going to use a fluffy brush. We're going to use my Makeup Forever blush that I got a long time ago, and it's durable. Trust me, it has not popped, broken, shedded. Love it. So we're going to go into the two. Got some on the brush. Start to dap on the upper parts of our cheeks. And it's going to be really intense. I want more orange, so I am going to go into the Juvia's Place palette. I do like this. I don't want to use too much. I shouldn't even have that. Like, his name shouldn't even be in my vocabulary or in the meetings. Let me show you what it. Now, as I'm not going to give it any more time. Now, as I had placed it on the upper parts of my cheekbones across my nose, right? We're going to go in with the same one that I mentioned, the Oro. I think I pronounced it correctly. We're going to go in there, and trust me, their colors are like true to what you see. So we're going to drop that right on top. Oh yes, that looks so nice. You know, when you see something that comes together, you're just like, yes, I did that. You know, I like the orange on top of it. It gives it a better hue. Love that. Just a little bit on the temple area. Just a little. Like that. And just swipe it a little bit across the forehead because it is supposed to be a fleshy color. Nice. Did that. Okay. Now we're going to go over everything with, again, the Sephora. The Sephora Micro Smooth powder with the big dome Morphe brush. not a generous amount, just to fuse it in together. See how it just, did you see that? Did you see how it just muted it? It just blurred it. It just blended it all together. Love that. Love that for us. Love that. Okay, so we got that. Let's do the lips because we're almost done. Hopefully that didn't take too long. Hopefully it didn't take too long. We're going to go with the brown lip liner. So again, we're going to do nude, right? Love my nudes. I do have a slew of nudes in MAC, but we're going to work with the Fenty, which I recently got. So especially if you know me, when I get something new, I tend to use it. I use it often until I find something else. What I forgot to do before I do that, just fuse out the under eye area so that the cheeks are not dominating so much underneath the eyes. There we go. Now, lip liner, something darker than your lip color. Nothing too dark. I'm doing the pout, just like that. Notice I didn't wipe off my lip gloss. I'm not doing that. Did I wipe off the foundation that I got on my lips? Not wiping that. So we're going in with this right away. We're not wiping anything off. And we don't need to. At least I don't think so. As soon as you open this, it smells like a candy store. Nothing sweet above and sweet like, you know, sour tarts. It smells like that a little bit. So we're going to be putting this color on. Ask me the name of this shade. Please ask me. Ask me. Right? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put on a little bit of the NYX Wonder Snatch Powder in Banana Brat. I'm going to pat it on with a brush because I think I need a little bit underneath the eyes, to be honest. I see how I don't like the way that it looks. It looks like there's like a light mark underneath my eye and then it's not blended in nicely. So we're just going to add a little bit of yellow. Just lock it in. A little bit over the blush. Yeah, that looks better than that. You know what I'm saying? What a difference, right? So the blush was masking everything or taking over. And under my eyes, the concealer was just a little bit too much. Okay. So we're going to do that. That works really well. Just fuse that out a bit. Okay. All right. I think we're good. I think we're good. I don't think I need to contour the nose anymore. Everything looks nice and soft. I'm going to go in with a little bit of Cocoa Naughty on my under the cheekbone. So I'm going to use my same, this is my Makeup Forever brush, two-sided brush. We use this one for the blush. We're going to use this one for the contour. We're going to go in and I'm going to embarrass myself and show you that I have pan. I'm using my things. I'm using my things. Underneath the nose a little bit because again, contour, and I like to touch my nose just right at the bottom of my cheekbone, just to give it more of a hollow effect and blend that up towards the upper parts of my ear, just a little. I like this shade Coconut because it acts as a contour. It's not reddish in color, brownish, like, you know, warm in color. It's more cool. So it gives it more of a contoured effect. I wanted a little bit more of a hollow right within that area, this area right here. Landing it above my ear, so swiping it right there and just bring it up towards my temple a little bit just to blend it out. Yes, I might go, no, I'm not going to do that because I'm going to wipe the product off my nose. I don't want to do that because the skin on our nose is different. Let's keep that in mind. Let's keep that in mind. Okay. We're going to spray. I think we're good, right? I did put mascara in the bottom lash line. It does matter on what kind of concealer you use. You don't want your mascara transferring onto your, you know, underneath your eye, looking like a spider. Even if you use waterproof mascara, sometimes the formula of the concealer can cause the mascara to bleed. Okay, so be mindful of that. I don't usually put mascara in the bottom lash line. I really don't. But with this look, I did. And so I'm going to go in with a setting spray. And my favorite so far is the Essence Fix and Last 18-hour long lasting makeup fix spray, waterproof, and it's free from alcohol and oil. This is my favorite one. It is small enough to be carried. I don't really need to spray again, but just in case something needs to be corrected. Now, my new fan, if you guys have not seen it yet, check out my LTK, be able to pick one of these up. It's a digital fan. It goes for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. No, hold on. It jumps every 2. So it's 1, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Let's just do one for now. You can grab one of these on Amazon. The link will be below in the description box here on YouTube. But if you want to check out everything that I'm using, it will be on my LTK. I'm getting better with it. Bear with me. I'm getting better with it. Okay. I shouldn't have wore a white shirt. Let me go and change. Okay. It is snowing outside, but it's definitely not snowing in here. So I threw on one of my tops. Beautiful one sleeve. The scale goes all the way up to the neck. Works really well with this look. Loving the color of my hair. I was going to color it last night, but asked me if I did. No. So this is the makeup look fit for this look. Yes, I might even put my hair up. But thank you so much for watching. Everything will be in the description box below. If not, it will be on my LTK. But mainly the foundation and, you know, the basic necessities that I have on or are used will be in the description box below. Stay tuned for the next love, locks, and lipstick.